Hey everybody, it is Mike over here at Growtopia, and for today's last video for Sunday in January the 19th, what else can you grow in January indoors? Well, first thing we're going to start off with is probably one of all of our favorites that's out there, and it's brassicas. Now, no, I'm not saying a fancy word for a brassiere. It's a plants that are the greeny plants. We got cabbages, we got cauliflower, we got broccoli, we got rhubarb in here, we got some Brussels sprouts as well. So, does this entail? Well, I got a bunch of trays. We're going to try to make this video as quick as possible. We got 3 trays, 15 plants per tray. Everything's all bagged, soaked, soil's roughed up, and tagged. And now we're just going to go down the line of the seeds we'll be dropping in these trays. So the first one I'm going to start off with of our brassicas is our cauliflowers. These are cauliflower snowballs. Okay, it takes about 8 to 10 days of germination, 55 to 75 degrees. They like full sun, half-inch down, and basically they say about 4 to 7 weeks before your last frost date. Now, of course, like I said, I'm doing all this stuff extremely early. It's only January, but it is stuff that you can start indoors in January. These plants are the best plants for people who don't have a setup like this. The reason why is they like cold temperatures. So if you have a cool room in your house, such as your garage or a spare room, or even maybe your attic, you could actually start your plants in there as long as the temperature doesn't go anything below 50 degrees. So just keep that in mind, some seed for thought. So I'm doing 3 of these. Now this tray, we're doing 3 of each plant. Okay. So that's 3 white snowball cauliflowers. The next one we have on our list is purple Sicily cauliflower, which is a nice purple cauliflower as well. Same thing, same temperatures, 7 to 14 days to sprout. And obviously another new seed packet. Now I'm putting mine on a heat mat that is at 69 degrees. And that is just so that it keeps it at the temperature that I want it at and it doesn't dip down too low. The next one we have on this list is rhubarb. Victory. 14 to 21 days of germination, 60 to 70 degree soil temperature, full sun, 1/4 of an inch depth. Can grow to 3 feet tall. Ain't no small plant. Come on. I know you're in there. They're like scared. They're like, we don't want to come out. Okay. Now the next one I have, it is probably the weirdest broccoli I have ever seen in my life, and it is called a Romanicasco. It doesn't have Costco in it. It's like Romanicesco something. I don't know. You guys can figure it out way better than me. But I tell you, if I came across this in the woods, not only would I not eat it, but this is like something I would see like growing somewhere in Madagascar with the colorful frogs you don't want to eat. It is this broccoli, the Romanica, whatever the heck. The spiky heads of this Romana broccoli grow in a unusual fractal form. This Italian heirloom produces 5 to 6 inch heads with a mild nutty flavor similar to cauliflower. 8 to 10 days of germination, 60 to 75 soil temperature, full sun, 1/4 inch depth spacing, 4 to 6 indoors before planting outside. This is a must for late summer or fall crops. You can grow it outdoors, obviously, around that time. So let's This one I got just this past year. I was looking for broccoli and I saw that one. I was like, alright, funky looking. Either tastes really good or it tastes really weird. There's a lot of seeds in the bag. Holy mackerel. And for our last broccoli for this tray, we are doing the Wartham 29 broccoli. Wartham. 3 to 14 days of germination. Isn't that crazy? In 3 days, this thing is already cranking. Soil temperature 40 to 70 degrees. This is another one that's great if you want to start inside your house without using a heat mat. If you don't have one, you have like a cool place in your house and you're like, oh, I can't really start anything yet. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Here's a prime example. You could start it in a greenhouse. You could start it in the shed. You could start it outdoors. You could start it in a cold part of your house, in the attic, in the basement. You could have broccoli growing in your basement. You'd be the only cool guy in the neighborhood, or female, cool person, let's cover everybody, in your neighborhood growing broccoli in their basement. Oh man, I want some broccoli for dinner. Ah, shit, we gotta run to the store. Nah, just go downstairs into the basement. 6 degrees down there. We got a whole bunch of broccoli growing. That'd be cool. I don't have a basement. I have an attic. I just don't feel like going up into it. I feel like it's haunted. Every time I go up, there's crates of crap everywhere. They're like, hang me up, put me down. Okay. We're just gonna tap, tap, tap. Everybody closed. Tap everybody down. And obviously, because of the temperature requirement, I did not put warm water when I set up these pods. I basically use like nice, cool, close to room temperature water. I didn't want to do anything hot because that can actually slow down their germination period and then causes this to take a lot longer than it needs to be. Not by much, but it might give them like shell shock. So nice, cool water, and away they go. So I'm going to toss this over here, grab the next tray. I'll keep seeding on. Where I want to stick these guys, I don't want them to get wet. Stick them up here. Okay, for our next tray, we have a strictly only cabbage tray. And the 3 cabbages that we are doing on this tray is the golden acre cabbage, the red acre cabbage, and the Copenhagen Market Early. So our first one here is our cabbage golden acre. It's a green cabbage, most common one that you usually see in the grocery store. 65 to 75 days of maturity, quarter-inch depth spacing, 10 to 14 days of germination, sun to partial shade. When the heads are firm all the way through, then squeeze the cabbage. If it's ready, rip the heads off and enjoy. This is a hardy cabbage that is fast growing. This cabbage has a sweet taste. It's the most common cabbage that we all use during St. Patrick's Day or any other time during the year. So we are actually doing 5 of these plants. Okay. The next one we have is also another known cabbage that most of us all have had before, and usually with the green cabbage, is our red acre cabbage. 75 days till maturity, quarter-inch depths of spacing, 7 to 10 days of germination, 6 to 7 weeks before last frost, full sun. Harvest when the heads are still young and growing. By doing so, they will store well in cool and humid location. Let's see. Red acre cabbage that produces reddish purple heads. Each cabbage head grows to 7 inches and weighs roughly 3 pounds. Excellent raw or used for coleslaws. We have some red cabbage leaves outside that we were harvesting about a month ago, and they were good. Just the leaf, the plant. We planted it way too late, and it wasn't really looking like it was going anywhere. So I took off a couple leaves, and I grabbed the leaf, and I took a bite into it, and the flavor was amazing. 5 of these getting planted. Maybe. Come on. It's like the seeds are all hiding in the back of the packet. I don't want to go. It's warm in here. Ah. I know, I'm weird. Alright. And final cabbage that is going into this tray is the Copenhagen Market Early Cabbage. This one is a 65 days till maturity, 1/4 inch depth of planting, 7 to 14 days germination, 6 to 8 weeks before last frost, full sun, perfect for your home garden. This cabbage head grows up to 4 pounds and weight and 8 inches in diameter, perfect for sauerkraut and coleslaw. Young heads, harvest young heads while they are still growing and green. This will be around 65 days after planting. That is our Copenhagen. Okie dokie. That is it for those 3. Toss the seeds up here. Tap them down like we did with the last tray. Once this tray is done, we're going to go on to our last tray. We're doing pretty good. This video is only 11 minutes long, and I'm trying to talk quick. Because I still have to now sit there after the video and log all of these plants into the book before they go onto the mats, go onto the heating mats, onto their shelf with the dome on top. So, onto our last and final tray. And our last and final tray has a little bit of mix of everybody in between. We are doing 5 of 2 different plants, 2 of another, and 1 of another. And that's just because, like I've said before, I got to try to be careful on how much stuff I'm putting on these shelves, because then it draws back. So we already have 2 shelves over there that are preoccupied. The tomatoes I actually took from 2 different shelves and I condensed together. Because they are growing, they have the tops off of them. I put the fan on low on them just for today. The fan will go off. The covers will go back on tomorrow or later today, depending on what I'm thinking of with the soil, moisture content level. Like I said, you want to prevent mold and stuff, so you just want to keep the cover off sometimes, but not too long, because then you got to water some more. So that freed up the bottom shelf, because now I don't have to change the lights around and stuff, and I don't have to wait till the next day. I have a regular day that I could start the lights at the time that I need them to be. So it works out perfect. I can use that shelf that's already got the lights synced in with the rest of the lights in here. Anyway, for the first one that we are going to be running off here is a Chinese cabbage, and it is called Bok Choy White Stem Chinese Cabbage. It's 60 days till maturity, 1/2 inch plant depth, 5 to 10 days germination, 6 to 8 weeks before last frost, sun to partial shade, has soft leaves and firm white stems. They are delicious in cooked recipes and can also be eaten raw. Pak choy and bok choy are the same plants. Harvest the leaves as they grow for a constant supply of bok choy. Now, the next one I'm going to butcher as well, but it's also another Chinese cabbage that almost looks more like a romaine, and it is machete Chinese cabbage. It's 70 to 85 days till maturity, 1/4 inch depth of planting, 7 to 14 days germination, 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. Produces a cylindrical shaped leafy head. The light green leaves are soft and tasty, perfect for stir fries and pickling. Pickling leaves? Sounds like an interesting idea. Harvest 70 to 85 days after planting. Pick the cabbage while it is still green and actively growing. Machete. I think that's how you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced before. I just can't remember how you pronounce it. But I think it's somewhere in that ballpark. Can't you people make seed packets open easy? Like seriously, that's all you gotta do is like, I swear, some of these, like, I don't know how they're gluing these things on, but somebody, if it is somebody licking it, like, man, they really got to get a life. They're really over licking the packet here. I know. I don't think licking is done anymore. I think it's all done by machine. Machine needs to be turned down a little bit. It gets a little too happy and licks these packets a little too much. Jesus, get it unsealed. I guess it could be the flip side. They could be crappy like some of the other ones that come where they're ripped inside the bag they're shipped in. It's like, oh, that's cool. You could just, send me when they were ready. But anyway, on to the next one we have is our Rainbow Swiss Chard. Rainbow Swiss Chard. Let's see. Well, there's a couple different things you could do. You can soak your seeds in water for 24 hours before planting. Not doing that. Start in rich and moist soil 2 to 3 weeks before last frost. Going to try to do that. Sow at a 1/2 inch to 1 inch depth, 6 to 4 inches apart, in rows that are 18 inches apart, depending on how much you plan on growing. Seeds germinate in 7 to 14 days. Annual, full sun, water regular, 20 inches tall, 3 to 12 for zones. It's a nice crop that you can literally grow throughout the United States and just about anywhere in the world. And it's unfortunately a crop that really gets overlooked. Nobody does a lot of it. Yes, I'm only growing one of it, but that's just for this tray. A lot of these plants that I'm starting in January, I can continuously grow more and more and more of them. This is just the first batch. This isn't the batch that I'm going to have for the rest of the season. This is just my first batch. So I'll probably start another batch either at the end of February or at the end of March or at the beginning of April. Wherever the next section goes. But it also comes down to where I have the room for. So as we jump down to the last two plants before I start rambling on, we have the Brussels sprouts. Now, Brussels sprouts I've always loved, but I never knew how they grew. And now seeing them on the packaging and seeing plants online and what they look like, it is crazy. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk with a bunch of balls hanging off the stalk. This is Catskill Brussels sprout. Excellent producer, yielding numerous 2-inch heads on a strong stalk. Plant grows from 24 to 48 inches tall and are easy to harvest. Flavor becomes sweeter after frost. 10 to 14 days of germination, 55 to 70 degree soil temperature, full sun, 1/4 inch planting. Start planting indoors 4 to 6 weeks before last frost in spring. Keep seeds evenly moist but not saturated until sprouted. Transplant outdoors in well-drained, fertile soil space 18 to 14 inches apart. Remove leaves gradually from bottom to top to give sprout room for expanding. Keep at least 5 plants to flower in the spring. Harvest pods once they are dry on the plant. Dry in a ventilated area for an extra 2 weeks, then separate seeds from the pods and debris. Store in a cool, dry place. Will survive up to 4 years. Pretty cool, right? They tell you all that on the back of the packet. They know you're going to buy their seeds, but they're telling you, hey, if you want to save a little bit of money, this is how you do it because, well, that's how we do it. So that is Brussels sprouts Catskill, and these are green Brussels sprouts. Like I said, I'm only doing 2 of these. I wanted to really mainly focus on bulkily on the cabbage. But the 4-legged furball, who identifies as a raccoon in the middle of the night. More or less because she kind of looks like it. She's got the same coloration. Weighs as much as a raccoon. Half the size as her sister. Weighs as much as a raccoon and has enough strength to open and slam the door every time she gets. Anyway, last one here is our red Brussels sprouts. Red Brussels sprouts is a unique, eye-catching heirloom, producing a vibrant red sprouts along sturdy stalks. Plant reaches heights of 24 to 36 inches, offering easy harvest. Plants sprout develop a sweeter, richer flavor after exposed to frost. I'm tripping over my words here. Germination is 10 to 14 days, 55 to 70 degree soil temperatures, full sun, planting depth 1/4 inch. Pick seeds, basically the way that you're going to harvest the seeds are exactly the same way. 4 to 6 weeks before last frost. Keep seeds evenly moist. Yada 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 yada. Space 18 to 14 apart. Remove leaves gradually from bottom to give top to give sprouts room to expand. So basically the same as the other one. So we got green Brussels sprouts, and now we got the reds. And that is it, everybody. I hope you guys got something out of it. I hope you guys got some valuable information. I'm trying to make the video as short as I possibly can, so I hope I didn't overly fill everybody's ears with a lot of stuff. And that's about it. I'm going to smushy down. Got to sit here, like I said, go through the book, write down everybody, update everybody. Also update that I moved the tomatoes from where they were to where they are now. And after that, everybody, that is it for today. Probably it for the rest of the month on what else you can plant in January in 2025. What you can start indoors. Definitely get out there and try it. This is probably really going to be an easy one for a lot of beginners. A lot of these plants actually do like to take off fairly quickly. So if you want to get into planting this stuff and you like cabbage and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts, start them indoors. You don't have a setup like this, that's fine. They like the cool temperature. You get them in a tray of some sort, however you want to plant them. You put them by a window. They get natural sunlight, which is free, and the cool temperatures. As long as your house isn't too hot where you're storing them, you can take them, put them in your garage, put them in a closet, pull them out, put them on a windowsill. Do it every day. Yeah, it might be a lot of work, but hey, you can get stuff growing right now in January. Anyway, guys, that is it for today. This is Mike over here at Growtopia. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and start growing some brassicas. Because I know I am. Have some fun. Later.